Okay, we are live. Breaking news.
Yes.
The team was expected to be announced tomorrow, we thought. But guess what? It's 10:15 p.m. on a Friday night. I don't know whether to thank the BCCI or curse them. Curse them because they're going to make us do the midnight shift pretty late at night. But also praise them. They've saved us our weekend. But the team has been announced. Okay, so team, and guess what? The team has been announced for 3 different series. The New Zealand ODIs, the New Zealand T20Is, and first 2 test matches versus Australia. Just to let you know that unlike what is happening in the Sri Lanka series, the T20Is were first in Sri Lanka and then ODIs, but against New Zealand, you'll first have the ODIs and then you will have the T20Is.
Yes.
So let's quickly go in breaking news that you're getting it first on Sports Today. So stay on with us. We'll talk about the most important points that have come out of this meeting. We're going to start with the series that will be played first. That is the Indian squad for New Zealand ODIs. Why don't you read the squad for me first, please, Siddharth?
Okay, so the New Zealand series ODIs will begin on 18th.
Yes.
Rohit Sharma is the captain, Shubman Gill, Ishan Kishan, Virat Kohli, Shreyas Iyer, Surya Kumar Yadav, KS Bharat is included as the wicketkeeper, Hardik Pandya, Washington Sundar, Shahbaz Ahmed, Shardul Thakur makes a comeback, Yajuvendra Chahal, Kuldeep Yadav, Mohammad Shami, Mohammad Siraj and Umran Malik. So guess what? No KL Rahul.
Okay, so just to let you know, KL Rahul, Akshar Patel, 2 players that were part of this squad. So hear it here on Sports Today. The reason that you do not have a KL Rahul or an Akshar Patel is not because they are dropped. For personal reason, family commitments, they have decided to skip the New Zealand ODIs. And a little birdie tells me that all the talk about KL Rahul's marriage are true. And additional information, Akshar Patel also might be getting married.
Of course.
So
marriage season is in the air, as
so
always.
2 players are going to be getting married in Akshar Patel, KL Rahul. So they have opted out due to personal reasons. So they're not dropped from this ODI series that is being played right now. What's really interesting is, remember Sanju Samson had an injury with his knee. And so Sanju Samson isn't part of any squad right now. That means his knee injury isn't that, it's small or minor that he'll be fit. It's obviously going to take time before he can recover. So no Sanju Samson. Sanju Samson fans, do not fret, do not worry that, Sanju Samson has been dropped and no, his knee injury will take time to heal. That's why he's not there. What that has done is very interesting, because there is no KL Rahul, because at that time you still had 2 wicket keepers in KL Rahul as well as Ishan Kishan. Now you would need a backup wicket keeper, which means KS Bharat is going to be that backup wicket keeper, because I'm guessing now you will have no option but to play with Ishan Kishan. How they play with Ishan Kishan, that's another matter altogether. So that's the change. The other changes that you've got in the ODI team, Jitesh Sharma.
This is the T20Is that has come up. Yeah.
So in the ODI team, you have got Shardul Thakur coming back.
Yes.
I'll tell you why Shardul Thakur has come back.
Batting depth.
Yes.
Batting depth.
We kept harping on that fact here. No batting depth in the team, in the ODI team. There.
Yes.
You got Shardul Thakur. Okay.
Washington Sundar remains. So that means 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 bowling all-rounders. Yes. Shahbaz Ahmed.
Shahbaz has come for Akshar.
Yes.
Akshar is not there. Ravindra Jadeja is not there. So Shahbaz has come for that. So that's pretty much your ODI team. Things that you want to know about the ODI team. We've told you why someone has gone out. So you had KL Rahul, Akshar Patel go out because of family reasons, both getting married. So you got Shahbaz to come in place of Akshar, and you've got a KS Bharat coming in place of KL Rahul. That way you've got the backup wicket keeper. Sanju Samson still not fit. Shardul Thakur comes in simply because you need an all-rounder. That's your team. Okay. Let's go to T20Is.
Yes.
T20I team.
So the T20I team is Hardik Pandya will be the captain. Surya Kumar Yadav is the vice captain. No doubts about that. Ishan Kishan, Rituraj Gaikwad, Shubman Gill, Deepak Hooda, Rahul Tripathi, Jitesh Sharma keeps his place after he was included because of an injury to one of the players in the Sri Lanka series. Washington Sundar, Kuldeep Yadav, Yajwendra Chahal, Arshdeep Singh, Umran Malik, Shivam Mavi, Prithvi Shaw is back, Mukesh Kumar. Now, Prithvi Shaw, remember, he hit 379 in the Ranji Trophy match against Assam. So, there were calls that Prithvi Shaw should be back in the Indian cricket team, and now he's been included in the New Zealand T20Is. Whether he plays in that, it will be a big call, because looking at the batting lineup, Ishan Kishan will be there. Shubman Gill, he did not have a good Sri Lanka series. So, does that give the nod to Rituraj Gaikwad? We'll have to see that. Surya Kumar Yadav, Hardik Pandya, Deepak Hooda, Rahul Tripathi. Rahul Tripathi also finally got a chance against Sri Lanka, but he didn't convert it well. Jitesh Sharma, very unlucky to miss out, but again he might probably miss out because Ishan Kishan will be your first choice keeper. Kuldeep Yadav, Yajwendra Chahal, the Kulcha duo remain in there. Arshdeep Singh, Umran Malik, Shivam Mavi and Mukesh Kumar. Shivam Mavi, as you know, 4-wicket haul on debut, was simply magnificent. But the main thing in this is, if you have to look at the ODIs, Arshdeep is not there in the New Zealand ODIs, but he's there in the T20Is. Arshdeep is not in the ODIs. So does it mean that the team management are not that confident with Arshdeep Singh after a rather subdued performances in the ODIs that was there in New Zealand?
So it's clearly that Shardul has come.
Yes. For better batting depth and for better, again, but death overs control, Shardul is a better power play bowler, I would say. But Arshdeep was getting into his own even during the power play period. Why do you have to drop him? And perhaps that performance against Sri Lanka, probably that put him down in the pecking order. 5 no balls, had a very bad day. Hardik Pandya was very critical of him, saying that it can't happen. So, Arshdeep Singh is no longer there in the ODI setup for the New Zealand series. He was not there even in the Sri Lanka series, mind you, because either he was injured. So, that is the thing. But Prithvi Shaw, what a roller coaster journey it's turning out to be for him, because Prithvi Shaw, out of the team, the selectors, he had gone on record to say to a publication that, okay, the selectors did not get in touch with me. I have just tried to keep out the outside noise. But I think that 379 knock has been rewarded.
Okay, what's very interesting is, I think the biggest talking point out of this particular T20I squad is that you have got the biggest talking point I'll come to. Let's finish the 2 other things. One, you have got Prithvi Shaw in the team. Now, what does that tell you about Prithvi Shaw? One, that there were talks about some disciplinary issues with him. There were murmurs there. Clearly, that has been put to rest. Either those were rumors, either they were true, but the BCCI has realized that you need to look beyond that. You need to give a talent a chance, one of that. But the surprising bit for me here for Prithvi Shaw is that his outstanding performances have come in the longer format.
Yes.
And you have selected him for
the shorter format.
So there is a discrepancy there. Having said that, if you ask my personal opinion, if you've been watching Sports Today regularly, you know that we've been advocates of having Prithvi Shaw in the T20 setup. We've always said that he's that X-factor player who plays for the team. And if you're trying to change your template in T20 cricket where you want to get a lot of runs, then I think this is the guy you need to go up top. Having said that, I'll also let you in on a little bit of secret. When you make the 11,
yes,
take it from me in writing. You can come back to Sports Today when that 11 is made. I don't think Prithvi Shaw will get a chance to play in the 11. That said, I think what is really something that you really need to look at as a positive, that they've got him back into the system. They've trying to include him, which is needed. Even if there were certain issues, only when you include him in the team, you can, you can mentor him, you can improve him. So it's great that he's come back. He will not get a chance to play in the 11. But the fact that you've included him, I think that's a very important point that you need to look at in this. The other biggest talking point from the T20I team is, and all of you, how many people are watching right now?
Over 100.
133.
Okay, so for all 200 odd who are watching, the biggest talking point from this T20 team is no place for KL Rahul, no place for Rohit Sharma, no place for Virat Kohli. Now, these are the 3 senior players, and I tell you why that is very interesting, because these players said till very recently that they're not done with T20 cricket. Rohit Sharma in fact said that he wants to continue. I think this is a sign. This is a clear-cut sign that, or a message that you have sent across to the seniors, whether right or wrong. That is something that we'll keep debating on Sports Today, and you'll keep joining us for that. There is a clear-cut sign that the T20I team, I repeat, right or wrong, that's everyone can have an opinion, that the Indian think tank or the Indian cricket setup has moved beyond the senior players. So, and again, the signs were already there. You heard Hardik Pandya talk all this while where he was saying, my team, this is my plan. So clearly that conversation had happened. Hardik Pandya had known about it. There he is the captain. Surya Kumar vice captain. They were the captain, vice captain in the Sri Lanka series. They remain roughly the same team that you saw there, with an addition of a Prithvi Shaw, of course. But no place for seniors, which means the Indian team is clearly turned a corner.
The most significant thing, the last T20I series until June and July.
Yes.
This is the last series, because after that the Australia 4 tests and only 3 ODIs will be played. After that it will be the IPL. After the IPL, India are making a tour to the West Indies. 3 ODIs are confirmed. Whether they are going to play 3 T20Is also, that is not yet confirmed. After that, the Asia Cup will be in the ODI format, and after that it is just Australia coming back for 3 ODIs before the World Cup. So it's a clear-cut indication the final T20I series before June, they don't have Virat Kohli, KL Rahul and Rohit Sharma. So that's a massive statement looking ahead into the 2024 T20 World Cup, which will be held around June, July of 2024. So, but if we look at it, Kuldeep Yadav is there in both the teams that we have discussed so far. He's there even in the New Zealand ODIs, he's there even in the New Zealand T20Is. And it looks like they would want to persist with Kuldeep Yadav at this point in time. Umran Malik is the only other guy who's there in both the ODIs and the T20Is. So they are probably giving him a longer rope. And any other common names? Shubman Gill, yes, he's there in both the ODIs and the T20Is. And Surya Kumar Yadav is there in both the ODIs and the T20Is. Although we don't know whether Surya Kumar Yadav will play in the New Zealand ODIs, because Ishan Kishan is a certainty. But who do you fit? How will you fit in Surya Kumar Yadav? That will be a bigger challenge when you're determining the playing 11 for the New Zealand ODIs. Because Rohit Sharma, Shubman Gill will be there, Virat Kohli, Shreyas Iyer will be there, Ishan Kishan mostly will have to bat at number 5. Then Shahbaz Ahmed, Washington Sundar, Shardul Thakur, Kuldeep Yadav, Siraj and Umran Malik. Maybe that is the playing 11. If you want the batting depth. So
2 big talking points. Prithvi Shaw back, unlikely to get a spot in the 11. The other is that the seniors still not part of this scheme of things. Let's turn our attention now to the first 2 test matches. Remember, 4 test match series versus Australia. This is typical. You usually announce for 2 tests, RFK, then you review and announce later. Biggest question here was there was going to be no Rishabh Pant. So who comes in? Now you've got 2 wicket keeping options. Very interesting. 2 wicket keeping options in KS Bharat
and Ishan Kishan.
So that's really interesting. 2 wicket keeping options in KS Bharat, Ishan Kishan. Who's going to start? I mean, we could debate till the cows come home, but it'll be an interesting debate. Anyone out of them could start, but you've got 2 options. Okay, what that also tells me when I'm looking at this particular squad is the other big headline act, Surya Kumar Yadav. So there were talks, include Sky, into Test cricket. He is the man in form, and I think Gautam Gambhir is one of them who was very vocal about it. Guess what? You've got your wish. Surya Kumar Yadav comes back. The other one name, interesting to note, is that of Ravindra Jadeja. Has been out for very long. Remember, last we saw him at the Asia Cup, then had a freak injury that went through knee surgery, and then we didn't know when he's going to come back. Been a long time, about 4 months that he's been out of active cricket. Now he comes back, but there is a rider there, which we are telling you exclusively on Sports. No, actually now they've put it up. Jadeja's inclusion in the squad is subject to fitness. So that's another important thing that you must note, which means that I think he's targeting to make a comeback there, and most people, looking at his fitness would have said yes, he should be fitter then. But because he's not played any cricket and he'll be coming out from cold, I think they put this out just in case if he's going to be available or not. The other big thing to note from the test squad, no Jasprit Bumrah. No Jasprit Bumrah for any of this series. And as we'd been telling you, and we told you this much before, because initially when reports came that Jasprit was part of this series, but we've pulled him out against the series versus Sri Lanka. Don't worry, he'll be back very soon. At the time we had told you on Sports Today, no chance that you're going to see Jasprit Bumrah till after the Australia series, and exactly what we had predicted is coming out to be true. No Jasprit Bumrah. So I doubt he'll be there for the next two test match. I think the first thing you will see him play.
The more realistic thing would be the ODIs. The 3 ODIs, if you want to get him into match rhythm for the IPL.
Maybe before the IPL you see them.
Yes, 3 ODIs after the 4 tests, that ends on March 13th. After that you play 3 ODIs, and after that on April 1 you will play the IPL. But Suryakumar Yadav will now be in direct contention with Shreyas Iyer for the spot, for the number 5 position, because Rohit Sharma and Shubman Gill, we don't even know if KL Rahul will be a starter. But if KL Rahul starts, then Shubman Gill is out. It will be Rohit Sharma, KL Rahul, Cheteshwar Pujara, Virat Kohli, Shreyas Iyer / Suryakumar Yadav, if India are bold enough to give Suryakumar Yadav his test debut. KS Bharat then at number 6. Ravichandran Ashwin, Ravindra Jadeja, if Ravindra Jadeja is fit, at 7 and 8. Followed by Umesh Yadav, Mohammad Shami and Mohammad Siraj. That would be, but I don't know if Kuldeep will be there. If Ashwin and Jadeja play, then will they play with 3 spinners? That is the biggest bone of contention. But okay, looking at the conditions that India will present Australia with, 3 places: Delhi, Nagpur, Ahmedabad. 3 places where spinners will get plenty of assistance. If Ravindra Jadeja is not fit, then Kuldeep Yadav probably makes it into the team.
Yes.
That is the only way I look at it, because Dharamshala will be a place where there will be pace and bounce, and you'll probably play 4 spinners. But remember, Kuldeep Yadav, even Dharamshala had a massive impact in 2017. 4 wickets, and he won you that game.
Yep.
Will you ignore Kuldeep Yadav in those circumstances?
I'm just really not clued in to look at the 11s now.
Yeah.
Because 11s will take a long time. We have a lot of time to be discussing that.
Yes.
But I think I'm just looking at the squad and the finer points of the squad. I'm just, they've kept with Jaydev Unadkat. That's interesting. Mohammad Shami, Siraj, Umesh. Also, Umesh was part of the test squad, so
Bangladesh,
go with him. So pretty much same. I don't know. I think we've covered the major talking points of the 3 squads that are there. Of course, as I said, initially, I don't want to comment on 11 because you don't know. You'd want to sit down, take your time, and then look at the 11. But the larger thing, the larger points, the headlineable points out of the squad that has been picked for the 3 series, I think we've pretty much covered that. If you have any thoughts, any questions, then we'll try and answer that. Otherwise,
so Suryakumar Yadav and Shubman Gill are the only guys in all the 3 teams, in all the 3 squads. ODIs, T20Is and the tests. So, but I will have to feel a little bad for Shubman Gill in the test matches, because if KL Rahul is there.
You're seeing the wrong stream, Saraj.
Okay. So that is about it.
So Lakshman is saying why Shreyas not there in T20Is? What did he do in T20? He's way better than Gill.
That's a very good point. That is a very good point. I'm a bit surprised no Shreyas Iyer in the T20 squad. Thank you, Lakshman, for pointing that out.
There is no Shreyas Iyer.
I don't know whether it's part of the rotation or whatever.
But we were talking about it. No, if Suryakumar, it's a straight battle between Suryakumar and Shreyas Iyer. Suryakumar is a fit in T20Is.
So Iyer wasn't also part of these T20Is versus Sri Lanka.
I'll cross check it, but I think he wasn't.
No, he was not.
He wasn't.
You have the squad in
No, he wasn't. He wasn't.
Notepad.
Yeah. He wasn't.
India's ODI squad was T20I squad was Sri Lanka.
There was no Shreyas.
There was no Shreyas Iyer.
So Shreyas was. So there's no change as such, but they didn't go with Shreyas, and they've not gone with Shreyas even now. which is a bit surprising. I don't know.
I think it's been formalized now. Surya Kumar is your go-to player in T20Is. Shreyas is your go-to player in ODIs.
I don't know. I don't buy that. I think Shreyas Iyer needs to be in that T20I squad. Bit surprising. More questions?
LJ4 Daniel saying Rohit himself said that main players for ODI World Cup will miss T20Is till ODI World Cup.
Okay, no. So let me just tell you one thing. That's a good point. That is a good point. But what are you going to do? Let me take that question. So who is this?
LJ4 Daniel, the username.
Daniel. Okay. Daniel raises a question. He's saying that listen, we are pointing out that no seniors here, and because Rohit pointed out that till the ODI World Cup, the regular ODI guys are not going to play T20Is. That is not true, by the way, because I'm just going to take out the squad for India T20Is. This is the one, right?
New Zealand,
Hardik Pandya is going to be playing ODI, is in the T20 squad.
Yeah.
Surya Kumar Yadav is not in the 11, but he's in the scheme of things. Will play the
Ishan
ODIs.
Kishan.
He's in the T20I squad. Ishan Kishan, Shubman Gill, by the way, is playing in the 11. So there's another guy that you can see who's there. Washington Sundar, again part of both squads.
Kuldeep
Yadav, part of both squads. UCHL, part of both squads. So I know that that rotation is being spoken of or whatever. But two things. Firstly, if that was the scenario, then it would have to be with all players, including Hardik Pandya, by the way, who takes more workload. Secondly, assuming you even thought of that, what are you going to do with these young guys if they perform well in all the ODIs leading up to the T20Is? Then after the ODIs, you suddenly tell them, no, now you're out. That won't happen. I'm telling you, and we've been telling you this before. Even teams have been announced on Sports Today. Some of you believe us, some of you don't, but all of those things are just coming out to be true. I think the players, senior players might want to continue, but I think the BCCI may be looking forward. Having said that, I said there's nothing permanent in Indian cricket. The youngsters you persist with, they don't do well in T20s, and some of those senior players have an outstanding ODI World Cup. Then how is it that you can ignore? Things can change, but I'm just telling you the mindset that the BCCI is in at the moment.
So saying the selectors may not have selected seniors, but they have not officially said that now on Hardik Pandya will lead T20. What if Rohit
may have not selected seniors? Sorry,
but they have not officially said that they are not in.
Of course, a lot of things are not said officially. Sobham Sai. That's why you tune into Sports Today to get information.
Yes.
If everything was said officially.
What if Rohit wins this year's IPL?
That's what I said. I said nothing is permanent. Sobham is saying, what if Rohit wins the IPL? Good point. What if Virat Kohli has an outstanding IPL season? Teams wins or not, but standout season for Rohit, KL, whoever, Virat, anybody. You cannot ignore them. And as I said, forget everything. We have seen in the past T20 World Cups, teams have changed even the month before the World Cup.
Yes.
Right? So nothing is permanent. Public sentiment takes over. Our perceptions change. Perspectives change. All of that changes. Teams can happen. I'm just telling you where BCCI is at the moment, giving you some inside info. If you'd love to take it. Yeah. Arun is saying unlucky Samson. Yes, he is unlucky, not because he has not been picked, but I think the knee injury is going to take time. So
wrong time, wrong injury, unfortunately, because he needed to be there in the scheme of things until March, but now he's gone back in the pecking order because of that injury.
Yeah, but I mean, again, there'll always be musical chairs. He'll get his chance, but unfortunate time for him to get that injury. Yes.
His next best hope is June.
Yeah.
So username E is equal to MC squared saying why Surya in test while Sarfaraz is out.
There has been a call for Sarfaraz Ahmed to be there because in the last couple of seasons he's been having a fantastic time for
Who's
Mumbai.
this?
E is equal to MC square.
E is equal to MC square. Einstein's big fan wants to know why no Sarfaraz and why Sky.
Yeah, because Sarfaraz has been in great form for Mumbai in the Ranji Trophy and he's been banging on the doors for the last couple of seasons. But again, the problem of plenty. Where will you play Sarfaraz and why would you want to sidetrack Surya Kumar Yadav? We are going by the same thing that he's in great form in the T20Is. Perhaps if he can carry that form in all the other formats, he's your automatic choice, isn't it?
Yeah.
So, would you want to sidetrack a very red hot in form Surya Kumar Yadav taking the chance now in the Australia series and take somebody like Sarfaraz who may be a game changer but not to that extent and magnitude as Surya Kumar Yadav.
And I think that's the nature of cricket everywhere. If
Yes.
you have a more established player who's doing well in sometime format, I know you're mixing formats, but that overflow happens. For example, I know a lot of you, including us, are very happy Prithvi has come, but he's come on the back of some great performances in the longer format. He's come back, but we are happy, right? We're celebrating.
Yep.
I think it does. At this time, it's tough to ignore Surya Kumar's form.
Yes.
He will come into test. And I guess Sarfaraz, like most players, will have to wait. There have been a lot of domestic stalwarts
Yes.
that have had to wait for their chances, because I give you an example of Sharath, who's now the selector from
Sridharan
South.
Sharath.
He was a giant of a player in domestic cricket. Unfortunately, played his cricket when there was VVS Lakshman, Rahul Dravid, Sachin Tendulkar in the test squad.
Amol
Where would you fit
Mazumdar.
in? Yeah, Amol Mazumdar is an example. Where would you fit in? So these things happen. I'm not saying that will happen with Sarfaraz. He's still young, a lot of chat. But I'm saying at the moment, I see no big.
And let us not forget, Surya is not a guaranteed starter even in the test matches because there is Shreyas Iyer.
Yep.
So that is why Surya, Shreyas and Sarfaraz. Sarfaraz is way down the pecking order in that sense, unfortunately.
Yeah.
So
More questions?
Arnab Roy is asking about Ajinkya Rahane. What about Ajinkya Rahane?
Yes, I think they may have moved beyond him.
they have moved beyond
That's
him,
a
yes.
fact. Arnab is asking.
Yes,
Arnab, that may be the truth.
unfortunately.
And I guess it's very tough to.
They
fit him
gave
also now.
Cheteshwar Pujara a longer rope. He capitalized on that. Unfortunately, Rahane did not.
Yeah. He also got a chance because of few injuries here and there.
Yes.
So he got a chance, Cheteshwar. That way he was lucky. He capitalized it, as he said.
Yep.
Yeah.
Himanshu is asking, can
Himanshu.
Surya start in Test 11 while Rahul keep the wickets?
No, that's not going to happen. I will not, as much as we would love to see Surya Kumar, Himanshu in the playing 11, you can't have KL Rahul. See, in the shortest format of the game, in fact, we were even raising our doubts whether even in ODI you can have a makeshift wicketkeeper.
Yeah.
You can do it. Rahul Dravid did it because he was a very good batsman. You need to fit him. And I think that's a move that Saurav Ganguly is praised only for.
Yep.
I mean, you can look at it two ways, but I think overall, I think the way he found a way to integrate a batsman like Rahul Dravid into the team with his keeping kind of worked for India.
Yes.
May work in the white ball. But in Test cricket, you have to go with a proper keeper, and it's not going to happen.
And in the post-match
With
press
KL
conference that KL Rahul did say, he said, keeping wickets and batting, even in ODIs, is a very, very taxing thing on his body. He's had to work very hard to ensure that he maintains that level of fitness. In a test match, much more responsibilities, much more attrition rate. It would take a big toll on his fitness. So KL Rahul, I don't think it would be a very smart move to make him the keeper. You needed KS Bharat. The backup is Ishan Kishan. That's how the Border Gavaskar Trophy first two tests is shaping up to be at this point in time.
Rehan Sial is asking,
Rehan.
Nikhil sir, which wicketkeeper will you pick, Bharat or Kishan for the first?
Very good question. Very good question, Rehan. And this is something I touched upon, but I really didn't want to spend too much time looking at, what. But again, I will be tempted to go with KS Bharat, more suited for the longer format. Also remember, he had already been a backup to Pant. So in that pecking order, slightly higher, and it's good to see Ishan also being given that chance and he comes in. He could be, and I know that in domestic cricket he's played some big innings in the longer format. I know that, but I'm still, if I was to pick between the two, good question, and I'd go with KS Bharat. So that
I would also go with KS Bharat for the stability factor. But there is a case for Ishan Kishan because could he do what Pant used to do? Taking the attack to the bowlers. Because remember, in the Ranji Trophy, he hit sixes at will and he targeted the bowlers irrespective of whether they were fast or whether they were spinners. A left-hander taking on, suppose you want to take on Nathan Lyon. You would want to take Australia's pressure bowler out of the equation. Maybe
but
Ishan
Netherland
Kishan.
Off spinner or a left-hander is tough. By the way, Ishan's had a few issues with spinner.
Yes.
But again, I'm happy that he's here.
Yeah. But conventional wisdom will state that go with an experienced guy who's been the backup for a long time. That's KS Bharat.
And if I had to wager a bet, what Indian team is going to do, knowing the thought process of Indian team, I can have a bet. I'm going with KS Bharat. You want to go with Ishan Kishan?
It will be tempting, but I don't think India will go.
No, I'm asking you what the team is going to do. What do you reckon? Bet on what the team is going to do.
KS Bharat.
Then they'll play safe for the first two tests.
They will play,
Saransh
yes.
also
KS
points
Bharat. Yep.
Ajinkya Gupta is asking.
Ajinkya Gupte.
First question you already answered.
Ha.
Vainu Sanju.
Ha.
Second question is, have they gone beyond Vihari in test?
Good question. Who's asked this question?
Ajinkya Gupta.
Ajinkya Gupte. Very good question. Few things. I was one of the biggest supporters of Vihari. In fact, we were the first ones who even pointed out when he wasn't picked, was sent for 8 tours, you didn't pick him, and we thought that you were treating him very unfairly because you would only play him in overseas tough conditions, easy Indian conditions, you were ignoring him. I think he got his chances after that. They rectified that mistake. But again, I don't think he's grabbed it. He's done okay, but Patchy is not grabbed it with both hands. And I think, in a way, also now I was looking at domestically, some had a patchy season too, was not really, like when I say patchy, like in today's day and age where you got Sarfraz, getting runs by the ton, or Prithvi getting runs by the ton, if you get 60s, 70s, 80s, it's not going to really make an impact. So I think the Indian team, also age not his side, I think 31, 32
I think he's nearing 35.
Whatever. So age not on his side. All of that put together, I think they've looked beyond.
Exactly. I mean, he did all the hard work, all the thankless job that the Indian cricket team wanted him to do.
Open for India, yeah.
Especially when the opening order was failing in Australia.
Yeah, you sent him.
Yeah, he bore the brunt of Cummins, Stark and all.
Took a few on his helmet.
Gave you a good start in Melbourne.
Then later, with that injury, saved the Sydney
with Ashwin.
Full on, hard working, workhorse. I mean,
but again, workhorses are unfortunately not rewarded in this Indian cricket team setup.
Arun Teja is asking, who is our opener, Gill or Rahul? Rahul is vice captain. He's asking about
Test.
Look, knowing this Indian cricket team, I'll place a bet on it. It will be KL Rahul.
I think so too. I think so too. No, again, there is no right or wrong answer. If you were to ask me, if let's say India start with Shubman and Rohit, I will have no issues.
Yes.
I will have no issues, no complaints. But I kind of agree with what Siddharth is saying at the moment. I guess they are going to go with KL Rahul. Also, I think the biggest clue that you've got, they're going to go with him, that he is your vice captain.
Yes.
In the test. So
you are not going to rest your vice captain. That is the unfortunate thing. Shubman, no fault of his, had an excellent series against Bangladesh. Put you in winning positions, but when somebody else comes back, he has to make way. That is the sad reality of it, unfortunately.
Yeah.
So Pranav
Some fantastic question, guys.
Yes.
Loving all of you. Loving it. Loving having a conversation.
Pranav Shukla is saying, selecting Sky ahead of Sarfaraz is an insult to Ranji performance. I think public opinion has become a very important factor in selections. Even Ajinkya Rahane performed very well this year.
Who's this?
Pranav Shukla.
Pranav Shukla is saying that, listen, Ranji, you're not looking at Sarfraz. But Pranav, can I tell you, please check out Sky's record also domestically. He also gets you a lot of runs, averages very well. Sky has not been playing Ranji Trophy. I'm sorry to say this, but it's a fact. And I dare you to prove me wrong. All of these guys today, let's say KL Rahul, not in form. You say you drop him, go and play domestic cricket. KL Rahul will put double hundreds after double hundred in domestic cricket. Take it from me. The reality is the bowling, the pitches, the opposition that you're playing at domestic cricket. For some of these guys, they don't play domestic cricket, but send them to play domestic cricket and you will see the kind of runs that they will get. Send anyone. Send Rohit Sharma, KL Rahul, Shubman Gill, any one of them. And I had said this not now, at the time when Pujara and Rahane were dropped. At that time I had said, people said, let them go to Ranji, get a lot of runs, come back. I said, listen, these guys are so good.
Yeah.
They'll go to Ranji, they'll get runs. They'll get hundreds every second innings.
Yep.
They will get it. But does that mean that they should come back at that level? The issue is that the gap is there. When at international cricket, the runs are not happening. You think Suryakumar Yadav, if I send him to play a Ranji Trophy right now, he's not going to get runs?
He played in the first 2 games for Mumbai though, and he excelled. Suryakumar Yadav.
Yeah.
He excelled in that. And when was the last time, we'll have to really recollect, a tough Ranji season, which player got rewarded? We'll have to go back a decade probably.
No, they are. See, like a KS Bharat is rewarded because of that. Prithvi has come back because of Ranji. Right now he's come in a different format. So it happens. But everything, you can't have the same yardstick. You will be looking at what is Suryakumar Yadav doing at the moment. That's how he's come.
Yep.
Guru Karthik Sai is saying, can India whitewash Australia at home? And he's also saying, Pant void is huge in test.
Well, it will be tough to repeat that.
I want to answer the second question. You answer the first. The first question, who's Guru
Karthik Sai.
Guru Karthik has asked, can India do the whitewash? You answer that. I'm just answering the second part, which is
Pant void.
Is huge in test.
I so agree with you. I think the Pant void we're going to feel in Test cricket. He may not have had a great time in T20Is, had a much better time in ODIs, but Test cricket, he's there. He is right there. X factor, big time player, can change the game. in a matter of 2 hours, single-handedly. Adjectives fail me, but him not being there, it's going to be
Best
big
overseas match winner
Yeah.
that you had.
First
But
time.
when it comes to whitewashing Australia, okay, if it was 2013 or 2012, I would have gone ahead and said yes. But this Pat Cummins outfit knows how to win in Asia. They won in Pakistan, they drew in Sri Lanka, so they know how to win in Asia. And even in 2017, they seem to have turned the corner when they won in India after a gap of 13 years. They lost in 2008,
Yes,
2010,
yes.
2013 they were whitewashed, but in 2017 they were leading until Bangalore.
Pune they won that test.
Yeah,
match.
on a minefield. They won on a minefield thanks to Steve Smith's masterclass and Steve
Then
O'Keefe's.
Rahane played an outstanding, I think Ranchi was it?
It was Pujara and Riddhiman Saha.
And correct.
Pujara and Riddhiman Saha played a great song and it was a return of Pat Cummins.
Yes,
And in
Pujara.
Dharamshala it took a special from Kuldeep. To ensure that he
Rahane
won.
captain.
Yes,
Yeah,
because
yeah.
Kohli was out with a impact injury on his shoulder that he sustained in Ranchi while diving.
There
Absolutely.
were almost 600 people live. with us.
600 lovely folks.
There are super
Thank
chat
you
of
so much
Tony
for your company.
Datta. Tony
For who?
Datta, super chat.
Tony
Pronit
Datta.
Datta. Okay.
Prithvi Shaw gets a chance finally. So all the talk about his attitude issues seems to be over, or was it false media?
Okay, good question, Pranit. So, okay, let me spend some time talking about it. So, people are saying that listen, he's back because there were a talk about his indiscipline, this, that, whatever. There could be various scenarios. One, let's take it at face value that you think all the talk of his indiscipline and everything were falsely reported, and in which case he's come back. That could be one. Second could be that all the talks or everything that you heard was right, but there was also talk that listen, if there are indiscipline issues, you need to reintegrate him, you need to bring him back into the system. How do you bring him back into the system? Is by selecting him and bringing him into the fold. Sometimes things can multiply, or bad discipline can multiply, especially when you're ignored. If you're not part of the team, it makes you go worse. So there could be that okay, those things or things that were reported were maybe there was some truth to it, but then also the powers that be within the BCCI thinks that no, he's a talent, and instead of just not reprimanding him but punishing him of sorts because of some indiscipline, instead the better way would be bring him back into the fold, mentor him, and then get the best out of him as a cricketing talent. And there are examples. I think if you look at cricket, not all players are going to be same. If you have a very straight-jacketed Steve Waugh in a team, you will also have a maverick like Shane Warne.
Yes.
And both can be match winners and both can be part of the same team. So similarly, you can't have same people, and I think that's why you need to be a bit more sensitive. So first things first, that he's come back is not an indication that what was spoken about was untrue. Yes, what may have been spoken about and what the real issue is, there could have been some sort of exaggeration or may not be a true picture, but this we have reliably learnt, and this is not from one particular source or not one particular place. A few places where teams where he was part of were not entirely happy with him. That's not to say that he's the only one. There are a lot of players against, there are certain issues or not, but a lot of teams did not complain. I mean, you could take Delhi team for example. Yes. If he behaves a certain way in one place, I'm sure he's like that as a personality with the Delhi team, but they've also retained him, which tells me that no, they also love him, they like him, and there are also lots of good things about him. Yeah. And so, but they've tried a way to integrate him and continue with. Maybe there were certain things that may have happened outside of IPL, which people may not have been happy about, but that whatever the case is, my point is, there is nobody who doesn't have an issue. That includes Siddharth, me, all of us, Saransh. How you tackle those issues, that's more important. And I think rather than focusing on what the issue was, whether the issue was there or not, the fact of the matter is he's come back. I hope he's not going to get a chance to get into the playing 11, I know, but I hope as and when he does better. And even if he doesn't get a chance, I think the job is done. Kudos to the people who selected him. You've got him into the fold, and I think just that sense of belonging can sometimes change a person. So that's very important.
I think just to add on that, I think Prithvi Shaw had a triple whammy. First, that injury when he was at his peak, that injury happened, then loss of form and confidence, and that led to that indiscipline, which unfortunately saw him being sidelined for a long period of time. Coping up with that took Prithvi time. Now he's answered it in his way by hitting 379. Although many will say, oh, against Assam, but runs are runs in any kind of a situation that is there. So Prithvi.
No, but I'm not looking at that run. Let's say if he hadn't played this knock, were we not? I think few days before that we discussed that we want him.
Yes.
Because we know what he can do, right? You and I see him
Yep.
day in and day out in the IPL or wherever. We know the kind of impact he can have.
Yes.
What he's done in Vijay Hazare, when he was
Yeah.
dropped, and we know all of that. So we didn't need to see this 300 to have him back.
Yep.
This was always known. And the reason that he was not picked had to be something beyond cricket. No?
Yep.
But now he's back.
He's back. He's back.
All's well that ends well.
And potentially, I mean, a dark horse for a DC captaincy.
Could be.
Could be.
So I
With
wouldn't
David
burden
Warner.
him
David
right
Warner
now.
will be
Yeah,
the
I
captain.
wouldn't burden
but-
him for that.
Another example is Kuldeep Yadav. He lost his form, lost his
Yes.
confidence, was a part of the
Kuldeep
team for a
Yadav,
long time,
yes.
and now he's there performing.
Yes.
Absolutely.
And one of the few guys in all the three teams.
Yeah.
Yeah. Robin
Yep.
Yadav is asking, is it over for Hardik in Test?
Hardik in Test, very interesting.
Wasn't that obvious with his fitness issues?
Yeah, but I guess, yeah. I mean, I don't know. I would have been tempted to have him.
But
But if he's
Hardik.
not going to be bowling,
After
Exactly.
that back injury, he was
Because Hardik would be the ultimate X factor if he bowled. Because who won that Trent Test in 2018 was Hardik's bowling. And aggressive batting in 2017-18, we saw he could just take the attack. What Sky was expected to do in T20s, he was doing it in Test matches, Hardik Pandya. But unfortunately, that back injury, and now you see, we are managing him in ODIs. He's not bowled an entire spell, he bowled 6 overs and 5 overs against Sri Lanka. He is just about now completing 4-over spells. Rushing him for Test matches, I think you are jeopardizing him.
I think, and also I don't see the utility of having him in Test cricket if he's not going to bowl.
Yes.
You rather go with an out-and-out batsman. So I think that just sorts itself out.
Praneeth Datta again sent us to super chat.
Yeah, Praneeth, yes.
Kuldeep Yadav should walk into the Test side. Can India
Should.
play 4 spinners with Jaddu, Akshar, Ashwin,
No, won't
great
happen.
bat and a batsman left?
No, won't happen.
Won't happen.
No 4 spinners, sorry.
Because even on a minefield in Ahmedabad against England, they just played 3 spinners.
Yes. And I think that did the job.
That
you
did the
saw.
job, yes.
In fact, one of the spinners only did.
Aksar, it was Aksar Rajesh Bhai
Exactly.
Patel. And let us not forget, was this the first squad selection done by the new selection committee of 5?
Yes.
Yes.
The 5-member
Chief
selection
selection
committee, yes.
New.
Same, but new of the selection.
It is the new selection committee.
Yes.
So,
Nikhil is saying Dravid being in the dressing room is the best time for Prithvi to get back onto the track.
of
Good
course,
point.
Nikhil.
Good point by Nikhil.
2018 Under-19 World Cup vibes.
Yes.
Dravid being in his dressing room.
Good point, Nikhil. Yes, I think if you really need a mentor to mentor someone, nobody better than Rahul Dravid. And yes, he was the coach when
India won the
Yes.
2018 Under-19 World
and
Cup.
Prithvi did very well. So
Led from the front, and
Yeah.
Shubman Gill is also
Yes.
benefiting from that.
great, absolutely. Shall
Arun
we?
Teja is saying
Last question.
Haan.
Yeah.
Okay, Arun
Washington
Teja.
Sundar is missing in the Test squad. Not sure why selectors did not consider him. We have 3 left-arm spinners in the squad, but no backup to Ashwin.
Yeah.
Yes. What wrong did Washington Sundar do? Technically, I think Washington Sundar didn't get many things going his way last year because
No,
he was
you know,
injured.
just to say that left arm spinners, I mean, Akshar and Kuldeep are completely
Ravindra.
different. And I think why, you've got an Akshar here is simply because Jadeja is subject to fitness. So if he's not there, then you only have actually one left arm spinner. Kuldeep is a Chinaman, completely different kind of a spinner. And so they've not got backup for anyone,
Yes.
actually. Ashwin is your off spinner, Akshar your left arm spinner, and your Chinaman. I think when Jadeja was, if you knew 100% he's fit, I doubt if
He
Akshar
will
was
replace
there.
Aksar. Straight in,
so-
straight out.
So that, or I don't know, Akshar in Test cricket has been outstanding, huh?
But that outstanding to keep Jadeja out.
Yeah.
Better fielder, and maybe if he performs well. But how will Jadeja be when he's rushed back?
I don't know. So that's why I'm saying I don't
Yes.
want to get into it because there's such a long time for that.
Yeah.
So much cricket to be played before that. We'll get an idea of where his fitness
Exactly.
is.
We are now 28 days away from the first test, India versus Australia, February 9th.
Yes. So on that note, thank you so much for giving us company this Friday night. I hope you have a good night. Have a great weekend. Please give us a like if you enjoyed our analysis and the breaking news that we gave you first up, and share it with your other cricket loving friends. The video, those who would have gone to sleep would have no
Yes.
idea what the team selection is and want to understand all the nitty gritties. What better way